Next question says, my workouts are taking at least 3 hours, and that's excluding the warm up and post workout stretching. Is that normal? Some days I stay in the gym for 4 hours. Is it too late to change this to another training group that has a shorter workout time? So I looked up which training group you were in because there are some training groups that take a really long time in terms of training time. The one that you're in is not one of those. The training group that you're in should not be taking you 3 hours for a workout. Now, it most likely will take 2.5 if you're slow. 3 hours is a bit too much. I suspect that your rest periods are too long. Probably that you're taking too long between exercises. So what I see happen to a lot of powerlifters is they get in this habit of taking 10-15 minute rest periods between sets. That's not necessary, and it's going to be counterproductive for you. In the training group that you're in, having 4 to 6 working sets, it should not be taking that long. So let's take a given exercise. Say that you go to the gym and you're supposed to squat. You've got 4 working sets of squats. Now it's going to take you some time to warm up, but unless you're really beat up or you've got some sort of injury that you're working around or something like that, it should not take you more than 20 minutes to warm up. It takes me 20 minutes to warm up, and I've got to warm up to 700 pounds or something like that on the squat. So I would kind of go into it with that in mind. Do what you need to do. There doesn't need to be a lot of pre-movement, a lot of foam rolling and things like that, unless you're dealing with injury type scenarios. The warm-up should be enough to get you warm, to get you moving, and get under the barbell. So the whole period from when you set foot in the gym and put your bag down next to the squat rack to your first working set should take you about 20 minutes. And then from your first working set to your last working set, assuming that you've got about 4 of those, should also take you probably about 20 minutes, 30 minutes if you're slow. Other training groups have a lot of highly submax effort work. So say a set of 70% for a set of 5. Now that's not a difficult set. So you wouldn't need a 5-minute rest period after that. You would need a 2 or 3 minute rest period after that. So monitoring your rest periods is not necessary in terms of getting your training effect, but it's useful in terms of helping you stay in decent condition, which is beneficial, but also to get more work done in the same amount of time. The other thing that you want to watch out for is the time that you spend between exercises. So if you finish your squat work and then you stand around and rest for 10 or 15 minutes, especially if you're kind of already on that rhythm of 15-minute rest breaks, you're going to want to stand around for a rest period, which in that case will be 15 minutes, before you start warming up. I think a better policy is if you're on a rhythm of 5-minute rest breaks or 4-minute rest breaks, then you're going to stand around for 4 or 5 minutes. Then you start the process of warming up for, say, bench press. Again, you have about 20 minutes, get yourself ramped up, get into the sets and get through them. The 3 exercises that are different movement patterns that all require their own warm-up, unless there's just a ton of working sets, which some groups do have a ton of working sets. And those groups do take a bit longer to get through the workouts. Other groups have a ton of exercises, 5 exercises per workout or something like that. But if you've got 3 exercises per workout and a relatively limited number of working sets, then you should be looking at 2.5 hour workouts. If you're taking a lot longer than that, I would look for places where that's, look for inefficiencies in your workout, places where you're leaking time, basically. So take a look at that. Let me know if you're still having trouble, and we'll continue to troubleshoot.